Week on the Jarvie Show, we discuss if I should call it the Jarvie Show. Also in the news, I'm still in Utah. In other news, I'm selling all of my Nikon equipment. In other news, okay, so welcome to the Jarvie Show, or the Photographer's Life Show. We're only the second episode in, and I've decided that I didn't want to wait around and try to figure out the name of the show. I'd kind of let it happen, maybe a little organically. Perhaps something just becomes something. I like the Jarvie Show, but I also like A Photographer's Life. That's the name of my blog. That's kind of where I'm headed, just to kind of share everything about a photographer's life to photographers and non-photographers. I want this to be for everyone. No, I want this to be anyone that's interested in photography, that has a phone with a little camera, and that's like, I want to be better at taking, well, not even that. I want to see what a photographer's life is like. Their travels. I travel a lot. So here you are, part of the show. And I think the biggest news is going to be why I'm selling all my Nikon stuff. And we'll leave that for the end. And I've got my reasons, and there's a blog up on blog.jarviedigital.com. That you guys can go and read. 13 reasons why I'm selling it, and 13 reasons why I'm doing this next thing. And go and read that. But, or don't, just stay here on the YouTube, and I'll tell you a few reasons. If you want more, you can go to the blog, but otherwise you can stay here. It's not going to be a short show. I know that, because I just recorded it with the mic off. Yep, pause for effect. So maybe this is going to end up being shorter. Maybe this is going to end up being better. But one thing's for sure, it's taking longer than I want. Last show, I did say, hey, if you have any questions, let me know. And so, one of the main questions was from Danny. It's apropos. I'm not just going to share things that are just good looking on me. Even though this shirt and this hat. Scotland. Vote tomorrow. If you're in Scotland, vote yes. And I guess we can have a discussion about that. Maybe we do a discussion about that tomorrow. Do you guys want a discussion about why Scotland should be a different country? And my experiences in Scotland, perhaps? Photography, and maybe giving you a little heads up that I may be doing a workshop next year in Scotland with a friend who lives in Scotland. Was that creepy? I think whispering into the mic is creepy. Sometimes. All right. So where was I just a second ago? This is the show. I mean, this is me just here, just spitting out wisdom all over the place. Just all over the place. All right. So what was that quote? What was that? What would that guy say? Danny, you watched a lot of my vlogs. So the essence is that he was sad that I started doing a lot of vlogs. And that's like my daily life on the road. I was traveling to the East Coast. I was showing off what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, those vlogs were gone. Note, I did not stop filming those vlogs. I did not stop filming my daily life. And I'm proud that I kept on going because they're good. And but they're not online, I must say. So I'm going to open that up, that quote, and I'm going to stop. Let's see what Danny says. Okay, hold. While my slow internet, that's going to be the problem with the show. That's going to be the one problem with the show, is that internet's going to be harder, but I'm going to sacrifice some bandwidth and make this happen. It's not an everyday thing. It's 2 to 3 times a week, maybe once a week. We'll see how that goes. Danny said, last I saw you had hit the East Coast on your travels to shoot churches and just dropped out for months. What happened to the other half of the trip working your way back? That is what I'd like to know. Thanks. Thanks, Danny, because I know you watched the video, so now you're asked the question. Like I said, I kept on filming, but as I got out east and I realized there's 50 states, and I made this huge commitment, and people put money down on it, $70,000 raised on Kickstarter, and I promised I would go to all 50 states by the end of the year. I said I'd do it in a year, plus break, not counting breaks that I would take to do a few other photo shoots. So it's going to be just about 1 year. I think I'm going to be hitting my goal. And now that I'm with it in sight, I'm saying I'm going to do these shows. And I am saying right now, I am working on a way to get those vlogs edited. Okay? And they're there, and they're going to be awesome. But the show is going to be awesome, and you can ask questions, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be more up to date. And the photo stories. In fact, shall we jump into a photo story? Just posted on the blog, and I actually, what do you think, guys? Did you watch and then read the previous photo story? And if so, which one do you like a little bit more, or a lot more? Here we are. We're doing the second set, where we're going to do another photo story. I can tell you which one I like a little bit more, but I want to hear you say. Okay, so we're going to do a story about this picture. I love this picture. I think it's, well, it's great. I needed some Hawaii landscape pictures, and that was a big push of going out to Hawaii. Well, I went out to Hawaii to do the Faith in America project pictures and to photograph 2 LDS temples, the last temples for my LDS temple book, which, by the way, pre-sales, link's going to be below. Buy an LDS temple book if you want to assure that you're going to get it in time for Christmas. You can buy one anytime. Just have to do it soon if you want to get it for Christmas, because I'm buying a limited quantity because it's expensive. And but if you buy them, then obviously the expense is paid for, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, so I went out there for those reasons, but I wanted some landscape pictures because I know landscapes are very popular on the Facebook feed, on the Google Plus feed, and on the Instagram feed at the Jarvie. The Jarvie, go follow there. It's very popular, so I needed some good landscape stuff. So the previous photo story, you saw me taking pictures of church buildings because that was why I was in Hawaii. Later on that day, this is how it all progressed to get me to this location. I went and kept on taking a few more church pictures, including, and we met up with some chickens roaming the grounds of some church buildings. And then I did some more landscapes. And I went back home to meet up with everyone that was there at the vacation house that I was traveling with. They weren't there. They were out swinging on ropes on the beach. Here's Jaron. Here's Kristen. And then there's me. And then there's a group shot. Okay? So, and then we discuss plans. Well, there's another group coming in to town that evening. We're going to meet up with the friends. I was going to pick them up, and we were going to go up to Diamond Head, which, it was closed. Like, it's closed. It's not open for sunset. It's crazy to me. It was going to be the perfect place for sunset, and it wasn't open. So here outside the gates, I'm taking some pictures, and we're like, where are we going to next? And I was like, I'd heard about the China Walls. I looked it up on the map, and boom, amazing. And okay, so if you see this, look at this picture. It's there in the far right-hand corner of the very tip of that landmass. That's where China Walls is. So we had to get all the way over there, and we're barely going to make it there for sunset. And when I got there, I was like, holy cow, this place is amazing, and we're going to have fun, and I'm just going to hang out with my friends and do fun things and jump off, do some cliff jumping. It's going to be fun, I'm going to be a real boy and just have, I don't need to take all sorts of landscape shots. And so I take some people shots. But I'm like, this is Rochelle, by the way. This is my first cousin once removed. It means I'm cousins with her mom. And I was like, oh, look at this. This is a cool little shot, landscape shot. But no, we're cliff jumping. We're having fun. Here's a friend jumping. Here's a friend, a nice little portrait. It's great, right? And then I was like, oh, look at that sunset. It was great to pick a place that I could do both things, have fun jumping off a cliff and see a sunset. So the essence of this story, I guess what you can kind of take away from this is this internal angst that I have between people and landscape and which one to do sometimes. And I'm wondering, maybe, do you guys have this internal struggle? I'd be I got a message. I'd be interested to know if you do. And then, shh, be quiet, phone. Okay, I put that to vibrate, to quiet. And then this whole concept of stalking prey over the course of time. That doesn't often happen with me because go here, let's go here, let's go here. And I'll tell you in future stories why that's such a great option for me and why I like doing that and maybe why you guys could consider that. But since I stayed in one place, let's talk about stalking my prey. Like a roar. Okay, so I get there. This is what it looked like at the beginning. Sun, it looks great. I got some light rays coming through. And then the sun went down. So kind of the exact same picture. Nice subtle colors, and it's great. And I'm getting an idea that, okay, we're not getting super powerful colors for sunset. And I'm knowing what my landscape options are this way, you know, or trying to figure out if there's others. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. How zoomed in I should be. And then the sun goes way down. We start getting into twilight, and I had some fun cliff jumping, and I came back to the camera all wet, and I was like, let's do some more. Some long exposures and blah, blah, blah. And now everyone's out of the water by this time, and we got a group shot going on. And you can see how the water waves, you know, the water is moving because it's like a 15-second picture. Good job to everyone that didn't move. During that 15-second picture. Told them it was going to be hard. So everyone's packing up, heading back to the cars, and I'm like, okay, one more, but one more. Now that there's no option of taking people pictures because it's too dark and no one's jumping off the cliffs, I'm here for landscape stuff for a minute until we have to go get dinner, because we have to go get dinner. And a lot of sky or a little sky. Nope, here's what I ended up with. It was a lot of water, a little bit of sky, a lot of water, long exposure. I decided I wanted this amount of zoom crop because I tested it out a few times. That's what happened when I was stalking the prey. Okay, what do you think of the story? And, you know, these are my questions that go on in my own mind. How much people, how much landscape? I'd love to hear what you guys think. And, do you guys do the style where you'll stay for 2 hours in one spot? Do you need to start jumping off cliffs just to pass the time? All right. In the big news, we know what it is. Nikon. Let's hold up some Nikon stuff. I'm selling this Nikon stuff along with the D800, a 24 1.4, and an 85 1.4. They're in the car right now. I don't have them with me, or I'd hold them up and entice you to buy them. Yes, they are for sale, and yes, my prices are very low in comparison to other used stuff, especially the 1424 and 7200, because those, and the D800, because those three are very used, and you can see by looking at them, and they work fine. They work great. The 24 to 1.4 and the 85 1.4 work great because they look great and they are great. And I'm selling them. And now you guys want to know what it is. Maybe you guys already went and read the blog. But let's kind of discuss. Sorry. I'll keep that in for you, so you know that we are all human. I'm human too. My nose itches, and it's warm in here in Ghost Scotland. 85 degrees already. Turned off the air conditioner. That's, you know, you live in an Airstream. I live in an Airstream. Travel around the country. It gets warm inside. It's usually about 10 degrees warmer than it is outside, which means it's probably 80 or 75 degrees, 80 degrees outside. Okay, why am I selling my Nikon stuff? You can see the list of all 13 points if you read the blog, but let's go over the important ones. Cost, repair, and competitor. First off, cost. Nikon stuff is very expensive. I don't think I minded that much when it meant something. It meant you were getting the best. And everyone said, don't get off-brand stuff, get name brand, get Nikon or Canon. But now, there's an option. I'm switching to that option. Repair stuff. You use stuff as much as me. Every day, 400 or 500 pictures at least. weddings and big events where I'm taking lots of pictures, eventually things have to be repaired. It's happened. I mean, it doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I get frustrated with Nikon because it's too expensive, crazy expensive. Their repairs are very slow. I'm without a lens for 2 months that I use all the time. Unacceptable. That's why I've had to buy a backup lens of that. That's why I've had to buy a Sony A7R, which, by the way, is for sale, to back up my D800, is because it took so long for them to repair the D800. And their repair policies, their service practices are horrible. They do not play nice. They have monopolistic practices with other repair shops. They want to be the only ones that get to repair their stuff. It's like saying, we're Audi cars and you can only repair at an Audi dealership. We will not supply parts to your local mechanic to repair your Audi. Even if it's a super simple thing to repair, you're going to have to ship that car to our factory in California because we will not supply parts to your local mechanic. That is the perfect metaphor, and I'm not even exaggerating on this, I don't think. And so I don't like supporting Nikon because of some of these reasons. And NPS, I mean, Nikon Professional Services, a joke, right? I think everyone agrees that it's inferior to CPS. I've agreed that. I'm not a total Nikon fanboy. I wouldn't even consider Canon. I guess that's tipping like my hand. I'm not considering Canon. I think the main thing is because their color set, the colors of from their camera just don't work for my style. I mean, I got to maintain my style. It's not all about the equipment. It's about the images, right? It's about your images that you guys are seeing. Okay, so that's the repair and stuff like that. I've had some experiences with the competitors. I've had some experiences with the competitor I'm going to, and they are great. They are amazing. And when it was, I wouldn't have considered them years ago. It's not like, oh, I'm late to the party, like they've been great for so long. No, they're great now. And they're producing stuff as good or better with prices half the cost. So let's just get right to it. I'm switching away from Nikon. What am I going to? Sigma. Sigma lenses. I'm selling my lenses and getting all Sigma lenses. I'm getting their new art series, the 35, the 50, the 24 to 105. I'm also getting other pro lenses, like the 70 to 200 and the 85 1.4. They're a little bit older. They're not the art series per se, but they have great reviews. I'm also getting another lens that really is not as good. But I'm making the full switch and seeing how I like it, and it's half the cost. It's the 12 to 24, and I've heard decent things, but I must say I'm going to give it a shot, and if I don't like it, I'm getting the 14 to 24 Nikon once again. I'm going to buy a new one, and you know, like I'll be out $800 from that, but I'll have a new 14 to 24. I've used my other one for a long time. Someone else that wants a cheaper 14 to 24 will be happy with it. I use that particular segment, the 14 to 24, so much that, you know, it's not a bad thing for me to maybe buy a new one. With that being said, I didn't consider Canon for the reason I mentioned. I didn't consider mirrorless, even though I've had some experience with the A7R, and it's a great, it has some pretty good quality images. It didn't really fit, it didn't have quite good enough, like you could tell it was just barely, it didn't work for me. And I took tens of thousands of pictures with my A7, and I had my A7R for a little bit until I got my D800 back. And it was so much better than the A7. But still, I think the biggest thing for me was I needed GPS for my project that I'm doing now, Faith in America. I needed to know where each of these churches were. It was like, I couldn't do without that. There was other things, and I'll do, maybe if you guys are interested, I'll tell you why the A7R didn't work for me in a future show. So let me know about that. All right, so it's just a money smart decision, and that's why I'm switching to Sigma. And I will be happy to answer your questions about using Sigma. I've had some past experiences. I tell you what, the 120 to 300 2.8, one of the most exciting lenses that I think is out there. Is it a lens I would use a lot? No. Is it a lens that I would have fun using? Yes. Okay, so let's go over some of the questions that have already come in besides Danny's question. And I think a lot of them that I've had is, tell me what you're getting. We've discussed that. You're going to have to inform me about using Sigma, and I will in the future, so watch future shows. And then already on Facebook, this may be of interest, I've had a lot of people tell me about their experiences using the 80 or Sigma lenses. Wade, my friend Wade, said, I've been using the 12 to 24 Sigma, he uses Canon, but it's the same lens with a different mount. And I have the 50 as well, and I love them both. Okay, and let's see. Someone else said, I use Nikon body and Sigma lenses. My 24 to 70 I feel is not as sharp as I'd like it to be. But at my 85, I love my 85 from them and recently got the 120. Sigma is insanely sharp. And I hear ya. The 24 to 70 is not on my list of lenses that I'm getting because it's way old. And I know that they've got to be redoing that one as an art series sometime. I would be dumb for them not to. I'm going to get the 24 to 105 in the meantime, which is art series and should be sharp. I missed the 2.8. But I hear you. So yeah, I'm not getting that one. Someone else said, Jesse said, I am in love with my Sigma 35 1.4. I know, because I've used that lens sharper than any Nikon that I've had. And not just sharpness, it's how good it grabs the focus. And that's what I'll be looking at mostly. It's sharpness. When you get up into that high echelon, if it's competing that well with Nikon, it's just, you know, it's not going to be that big of a difference, I think. Tell me your thoughts on Sigma. Tell me your thoughts on leaving Nikon. Do you think that you have to buy name brand like Nikon or Canon to be a real photographer? Obviously, that's stupid. And if you think that. Okay, so moving on. I am still in Provo. My photo shoot that I was going to have up in Idaho this week got moved to next week. He is filming a show in LA. And then after that, I go out east. If you are en route from Idaho all the way to Boston, let me know. Especially if you have a place to park my lovely Airstream. I'll be stopping, I'll be going to Nauvoo once again because I love it. But I'll be stopping in some cities maybe I haven't gone to, which in the Midwest, I've gone to a lot of them. I'm not sure. Tell me where you think I should stop if you've been following me, especially to know, or if you've been following me and you have some suggestions of where I haven't gone yet along the route, let me know, because I'll be stopping in a few places, but I'm making my way back to get 3 more states. Do you know which 3 states I have not photographed yet? Stay tuned next week to learn. And I'll tell you a little more about that next week, but I think we've covered enough next week. I'm probably going to do another one tomorrow or the next day, because I am here working on stuff I'm not traveling right now, so I've got some time. And send me some more questions that I can answer on air here on the Jarvie Show. And I think that's good for now. Hope you appreciate the reasons that I am switching to get all Nikon stuff. You know, one of the things is you'll never be anyone to Nikon. They don't care about you. I don't know anyone that has like a real relationship or knows people at Nikon. You know, they've talked to me a little bit, but it never amounted to anything. You know, what they wanted to do was help me with my repairs on something, and they tried hard, and it didn't work out. That's the short story. If you want to know more, I'll let you know. Sigma, though, is an approachable, nice company. I know people there. They are nice, and they didn't sponsor me. I made the decision, and then I told them. I said, I am switching all to Sigma. I'm good for this. I'm going to switch. I haven't asked them to sponsor me, Haven't asked them to give me a discount. I hope they do. That would be cool. And maybe that will happen. But I would still get it. $900 on a lens that Nikon costs $1,800. That's already a win. But I mean, I'll buy an extra lens if I can get some discounts. So those are my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed the show. And stay tuned for some more news and another photo story next time. Dun, 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 dun.